Well, if Santa started off life as a bishop, which is a religious figure in a church, or as the god Odin, how did he end up becoming a large old man in a red suit? That's a good question. Today's current Santa looks like he's pretty fat, right? He's very jolly, which means he's happy all the time. He laughs a lot. He's got a low voice. He's got a big white beard, and he wears a very big red suit. Now, a suit is actually a set of clothes. You've got a jacket and some pants. Usually when we talk about a suit, we're talking about a business suit that a man or woman would wear to the office. They're all dressed up nicely with a tie. Santa doesn't wear a tie, though. He's got a red jacket, some big red pants, and this big black belt that he tries to put around his stomach, or as we call it, his belly. It's very fat. But one of the reasons why he's so happy is he eats a lot, I think.
Right. Well, he's only busy at one time of the year, so for the rest of the year at the North Pole, he probably just sits around and eats a lot of food and gets nice and fat.
Well, we know who makes the toys, right?
Yeah, of course, the elves do.
Those little people.
That's right. And of course, it's cold at the North Pole, so he probably has to be fat in order to keep warm. Now, remember we talked about Odin and we talked about Saint Nicholas, but now we're bringing it up to the present, and our modern image of Santa Claus has to do with a poem, some cartoons, and a series of Coca-Cola advertisements. Okay, so a couple of things can attribute to this image that we have. We have a poem, okay, which of course is some verses written out. It might rhyme or something like that. That would be a poem. A poem about Christmas, for example, the night before Christmas. That 'twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. So that's an example of a poem. Also, some cartoons. A cartoon can be something you might see in the newspaper, right?
Yeah, it certainly could, and actually that's what we're going to be talking about, cartoons in the newspaper. Now, it also includes a series of Coca-Cola advertisements. So you know Coke, right? Well, they've been around a long, long time. And an advertisement is when a company wants to publicize their product. They want to encourage people like you and me to buy their products. So sometimes they put advertisements in the newspaper or make small films they can show on TV, or maybe they record something that they can play on the radio. And they want to tell you all about their product and why you should buy it, why it's the best. Well, all of these things, the poem, the cartoons, and the advertisements, all combine to give us our present-day Santa Claus.
Right. Advertisement is how we say it, but some people might say advertisement. I've heard that before. The British will say advert, and some people will just say ad for short. I saw an ad in the newspaper yesterday. Okay, so Coca-Cola had some advertisements that produced some images that are similar to the Santa Claus we know today. Our modern image of Santa Claus began in the year 1823. So we're going back a long time, and we have the poem A Visit from St. Nicholas, or The Night Before Christmas. That poem was published. If something is published, that means it's printed as a magazine or as a book, and it is sold to the public. People can buy it and read it and see the pictures inside of it.
Now, we know the poem was really popular because it's described as being hugely popular in our article. And it's got a description of Santa in that poem. A description of somebody just tells you exactly what they look like. They give a lot of details. Well, he's a tall fellow, and he's kind of fat, and he has a white beard. So you can picture something in your mind when you read that description, and that's what this poem had in it, a description of Santa. Now, they described him as traveling with the help of flying reindeer. Now, a reindeer is a special kind of deer. It also has antlers on its head, like this. These are antlers. But a reindeer lives in a very cold part of the world. You wouldn't find them in a desert. Oh no, they like to be in the snow only. Now, he would fly around with his reindeer. They would pull his sleigh. And this is now accepted as the image of Santa Claus almost everywhere.
It's pretty universal. People think of Santa Claus, and this description is basically how we describe Santa Claus nowadays. Everybody accepts it. Well, here, to accept or to be accepted is our word power word for today. Let's take a closer look.
Word Power. Hi, and welcome to Word Power. Today's word is accept. Today, we read how the description of Santa as an old man traveling around with flying reindeer was now accepted almost everywhere. Accept is a verb that means to agree to take something. This can be an object like money or a present, or it can be an offer or an invitation. For example, Fiona accepted the offer of a job at the large bank. Accept can also mean to believe that something is true or correct. For instance, I still can't accept the fact that my pet cat is dead. That's all the time we have for Word Power today. Thanks for listening.
Now, when you accept something, it's like you're agreeing that that's suitable, that that's the right thing. That's a good way to picture Santa Claus. That's a good way to describe him, and I like that idea. I think I agree with it. Okay, everybody, it's time to listen to our Chinese teacher, and then we'll be back.